everyone. This is, I think, the fourth volume in my series of what I call restocking or reshelving. I need my morning coffee. All the vinyl records I brought in 2017, because I purchased about over 600 albums that year, buying them in such a rapid rate that I didn't have time to make videos for each set I brought. So before I library them, put them where they should be, I'm making a series of videos to show what I purchased. And these are purchases at various thrift stores, yard sales, a few private sales, wherever I could find them. And it was a banner year. I got a lot of good vinyl. So I want to keep the video under 10 minutes. So let me hit the egg timer here. I messed too much time with the egg timer, so we're going to right into the vinyl. The one I did yesterday was primarily soundtrack albums and pop and rock and roll albums. These are mostly pop, rock and roll, funk albums or soul. And I got Hot Rocks 1. Now I have Hot Rocks 2. This is not quite in as good condition as my Hot Rocks 1, but the vinyl is very playable. Pretty good playable condition. It's just the album cover has its usual wear. And Hot Rocks, more Hot Rocks, there's Hot Rocks 1, Hot Rocks 2. So this is songs that were big hits, but a lot more deeper album tracks. Still in shrink wrap, Paul Simon's a live album that came out, I think, in 1974. 12 exciting live performances of all his famous songs. With Simon and Garfunkel and a solo artist as well. So I'm not going to name them because his material. This was a early 80s Del Shannon album. And this did moderately well on the charts. Not a big blockbuster, but Tom Petty and members of the Heartbreakers. Tom Petty, I think, produced it. And Sea of Love, the remake, was a minor hit. A pretty good, decent album. He was later considered to be part of the Traveling Wilburys after the tragic loss of Roy Orbison, but that never happened. And Dale meant his own end soon after. But I'm happy to have this in the collection. This is Al Stewart album. And 1973 release, just as he was gearing up to in his art to create Ear the Cat and Time Passages, and another great follow-up. Pretty good album. A band that I was really never into, or this genre of rock, but I went ahead and brought it because this was only a 50-cent purchase and the vinyl's in good condition. The band Triumph. And I listened to this briefly. It's pretty good. I can't wait to give it an extended listen. I forgot what was their big song, but this is pretty good. This one is a double album, and I've got it on CD, but I only found only one of the albums without the album cover, and U2's Rattle and Hum. So this is disc 2 and side 3, side 4. It does have Angel of Harlem, When Love Comes to Town, God Part 2, a live version of Bullet in the Sky. So, you know, for 50 cents, why not? And the vinyl's in great condition. I just would love to find the entire album. But I do have this. This was a release in the earlier days of Southern rock. Wet Willie, Keep on Smiling, and it did have the song Countryside Alive, Keep on Smiling, which was the big hit. And I'm looking forward to listening to this. Like I said, I was buying so many. Backlog on listening. I like that cover. Okay, we're going to close out. We're doing pretty good on the time. We're about 6 minutes into this. This was a nice find. Commodore's Anthology, two album set, and pretty much it's a gatefold, and I'm not going to open it up because it's still in the shrink wrap. You know, by Motown, and it has all their hits and deeper album tracks. But the hits was Easy, Brick House, Slippery When Wet, Three Times a Lady, Sail On, which is great. And one track I really like, I'm trying to find it, Machine Gun. Anyway, happy to have this. It was unopened. It wasn't rewrapped. So the vinyl's in like new condition. If you like classic, jump blues, that period, then this Buddy Johnson Wales is pretty cool. Very cool album cover. Very period. And the vinyl's in pretty good condition. Not perfect, but very playable. So this will wake you up. Okay, we're going to close out. This is an artist that is very popular with a certain segment of the population. They called parrot heads, I think. But I was never a huge fan. I like some of his songs, but I got this one, Jimmy Buffett. I like the title, A White Sport Coats and a Pink Carnation, the old Marty Robbins song. And let me see if this has any of the I don't think it has any of the radio songs on it. Why Don't We Get Drunk? And I'm not going to say the rest of it. So I'm looking forward to playing this. Maybe I'll become a little bit more of a fan. Alan Price album. I think this was like a late 70s release. Like 1977. And I think he was the keyboardist for the Animals. And I gave this a spin yesterday. It sounded okay, so I'm looking forward to that. And 50 cents, you can't go wrong. I remember when this was releasing in the record stores. The last one is a mid-70s Santana album. And of course it has the typical type of artwork you see on Santana albums. And this one is called Beyond appearances. And I read they were basically trying to get with the sound of the 80s, and I sampled it yesterday, and it sounded that way. It didn't sound bad, but you know, not the classic Santana sound. Like they were trying to get in time with the 80s. But it is Santana album. It was 50 cents, and it's in great condition, so I'm sold. Okay, like I said, I think this is Volume 4. Volume 5 is coming up next. The idea is to get all of these albums on video to share them with you, and then library them, put them where they should go, and put them on the my spreadsheet, the Excel spreadsheet. So I really dig in sharing these albums with you, and please leave any comments, and Volume 5 will be coming up soon. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a good vinyl day. Bye-bye.